over here and pull the door closed and, welcome back.
How's your vacation?
Good. Much
We,
needed.
Why?
we have Linda McCann and myself, Janice, and Bob is a board member, of course, and you know him, and he is videotaping, so you can see it on the computer. And Bill is here as a resource and help us with giving you the proper information. So would like you to know that we started this morning with a board meeting for the budget review. And what were we there, a couple hours? Couple, 3 hours, 2.5, something. So we're nice and fresh and informed, and the budget looks good. And as you well know, I hope that there is no increase in the assessment. And we're moving forward with construction. And Bill, I'll let you make your, if you don't want to give them updates on that.
Sure.
Oh, wait a second.
No, sorry. Oh,
Is everybody familiar with my disclaimer?
Yeah.
Yes? No?
if you don't
Well,
want-
if you're not, I usually put these on YouTube, and if you don't want to be on YouTube, let me know and I'll just splice you out of the video. Also, I request if you could speak up, because we always have an audio problem if we're not in the pack, where some of the residents have problems hearing people, so if you would try to talk loudly, I'd appreciate it.
Can we use this
Okay.
one? Huh?
It always
Yes?
Yeah.
You wanna
Yeah.
use it?
I don't think I'll need it.
Well, for him,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's on.
Is
The
it
mic
plugged
is
in?
on.
No.
We have technological things here. It's a,
do you think, I'll just stand close to the camera.
Okay.
Yeah. As Janice said, we had a budget workshop this morning, official board meeting, went through the 2011 budget. Management put it together, we've taken it through the finance committee, which the finance committee has recommended that it be approved in the state it's in by the board. The board had a workshop this morning. There were some questions by the board that management answered for them, and I believe they're comfortable with the budget now. Again, as Janice said, management's putting forth, this will be the third straight year that we've put forth a budget with no increase since I started in 2008. 2008, 9, 10, and now 11, no increase. So that's one thing I pledged 3 years ago when I got here, is I was going to try to do that. And I'd just like to thank the board, the 3 boards that I've worked with, and the management team, because that's what's enabled us to do that. So it's a very good budget. The other thing that's very exciting this year is it appears that we're going to be able to pay for most, if not all, of this $300,000 expansion project this year through the profits. Through the first 10 months, October, we were $260,000 better than budget. And last year, the last 2 months, we made another $75,000. They're two of the most profitable quarters of the budget for Heritage Pines are the first quarter, the January, February, and March quarter, and the last quarter, based on a lot of catering and Christmas parties and weddings and things like that. That's what really drives the profit in food and beverage, which helps immensely to keep that log down. But anyway, we had another good month in October, $25,000 better than budget. As I said, we're at $260,000 better. So that's great news. What that means is we're not going to have to get into our cash reserves, which are right now at about $470,000. We're not going to have to get into them, hopefully not at all, but if anything, Kevin McChrystal, the treasurer, I think maybe at the most about $25,000 to $30,000. So that still leaves us with about $450,000 going into 2011 in their operating cash. That doesn't even count the reserve, which is fully funded now. The project Janice was talking about was the project to, the expansion is over with. All those projects are over. Next year, we're going to renovate the exterior of the clubhouse. We're going to put new doors in, some new windows. The lobby windows will be replaced. All new, we're getting rid of the siding and going to stucco on the outside, much like the guardhouse. If you saw how we did the guardhouse. New roofs going on, all new fascia. We're putting a roof on back here, a covered area here, and the furniture groupings are going to be replaced here. It's going to be an exciting time. We're hoping by about July to have everything done. The kitchen renovation, that's going to happen next spring. After season, we're going to renovate the kitchen. We're going to expand the kitchen, put new equipment in there. That's going to be really helpful. The new bar. Boy, you all have just really wrapped your arms around that new bar. It's unbelievable the way that the success of that new bar. Last Thursday night, we had 20 menu items ordered off the bar menu on a Thursday night. So they're really, it was a gamble for us to keep the cook here because we didn't normally have a cook here on other than Wednesday and Friday nights because of dinner. And then for lunch, obviously, but we scheduled a cook now till 9 o'clock at night, 7 days a week, and it's fine, it's paid off. The first week we were getting a little nervous because we only sold a couple things, but now that people know that it's available, they're coming up at night, they're staying later. We're evaluating the entertainment last Thursday night. Now I know it was Veterans Day and we had a crowd here, but the bar was 3D. based on the entertainment. So we're keeping that on Thursday nights. If that's a big hit, we're going to expand it to Tuesday nights. Keep it on the nights that you're not already up here for dinner. Give you options to come up and use your new clubhouse. So it's a really exciting time right now. I'm getting ready to stand up the construction task group and the interior task group. And that is for the second project. What they'll do is comprise of 3 board members each group. And what they do, Linda, Val, and Janice are on the interior group. And for instance, with the interior group, they select the colors, that type of thing. We're really through with the furnishings to the most part. We've already spec'd out this furnishings here, but it's a lot less burden on them this time because it's mainly just color palettes now we're going to deal with because we're not buying, that I can think of, any more furniture or anything like that. Also, it'll be carpet selection and wall coverings. Our plan is to do the pack room next year. This is scheduled for 2012. The Magnolia, the billiards, and the library. We're going to try to get it in next year, but we have to look at our cash flow. I'm meeting with our reserve chairman, Larry Lampy. I'm meeting with him this week, and we're going to decide that. Janice is also the liaison to that committee. So we have some decisions to make. We're spending about another $1 million next year doing the exterior. So, and there's some other projects wrapped into that, and the kitchen. So with that being said, we're going to have to look into it. We're going to try to get these rooms done, though, next year in our budget. Going to have a very good board meeting coming up. It's not really exciting board meeting. We're going to be approving the budget on a special board meeting on Friday, but the Wednesday board meeting, we've got some issues on the agenda that the board is going to discuss. So, you know, please attend. They're always interesting, board meetings are. And we have a couple things for approval for the board. One of our board members wants to talk about our furniture selection, and we're going to do that. So, but it's pretty much a straightforward board meeting this month. There's nothing. We're having a separate. We're having a separate meeting on Friday for the budget to approve the budget. If any of y'all would like to see, you got the handout. Everybody get the handout on the new budget for next year. Gave you all the fee schedules, and if anybody has any questions, just let me know and I'll answer them. I'll meet with you separately if you'd like to, and you talk about it. Does anybody have any questions of me or anything from management? Yes, ma'am.
In your budget that you did this year, I'm from Woodfield Village, Worthington Road. We have begged and begged for you all to do something
No, what do you mean by
about our
something?
property in the back that's yours.
No, you're talking about the fence line?
Yes.
Yeah, we're continuing that. We've started at
You've
Doodah.
told us this for 3 years.
No, but here's the thing. I told you for 3 years. I haven't told you we do it. I told you last year that we get it in the budget. We started on Doodah, which was the worst. It had no coverage at all. I mean, there's everything had completely died. We put in the irrigation there, and that's what I promised. We did that. Right now, Tommy Land is specking out for trees. Once we get that done, we're going to do it in 3 phases over 3 years. Next year, we're taking the next third, and I'm not sure where your village falls in there, but we'll get to it. It's just it's in the reserve. It's in the reserve over 3 years.
It should have been in reserve because when we bought, U.S. Homes said there was money in reserve for the trees back there. We have a line back
There's none in there for trees.
There was, in 2008, there was money reserved for the trees back there.
No, I'm sorry, but the trees don't qualify. Landscaping doesn't qualify as a reserve item. It doesn't, I promise you. Irrigation does, and that's what we took out of the reserve, but what we're doing is we're budgeting money out of the budget for the trees. That has to come out of the operating fund. That can't come out of reserve. It doesn't qualify. There's no landscaping.
I understood it was for the trees.
No, ma'am. What it is, and Lennar was like that. I mean, they gave you an answer for, oh, it's in the reserve. Oh, it's not.
Well,
And the only time that...
Can't wait, because I am looking at the people behind me in the other subdivision with their kids playing on the tar swings and the dogs barking, and I just look right out at that.
Okay, what village is it? What village is it?
Woodfield,
Okay, I'll go look at it again.
on
And I'll see...
Worthington Road. We both live right side by side,
Okay,
and
And
it's
this is
really
why we
bad.
bought there for privacy,
okay.
and you've let it go.
Well, I haven't let it go.
Someone.
Lennar let it go. We're trying to fix Lennar's problems now. Okay, but there was no money,
We
I just
have
want
a
to stress,
grid line.
when I got here, there was no money in the budget for any of this, except for the irrigation.
Well,
Now,
I
through
have
the
to
profits that the
compliment
management's
you.
making, we're providing money and putting it in the budget to address this. But there is no money that's ever been budgeted since I've been here for trees, or any of the fence line vegetation. We are doing it though. The board and I are going to budget money, put money in the budget. We've got it in there to start dealing with these issues. And as I promised last year, I promised 6 months ago we'd start the irrigation project. We did. All the irrigation's in. Tommy has spec'd out the trees. We're buying the trees this year for the Doodah Road section. We're gonna go to the next section, and then I'll see where you lie, maybe we'll move you up since you have, we're trying to put the people that have no vegetation behind their house. And if that's you, then we'll move you up. There's other parts of the fence where people have vegetation, but it's either overgrown, or the bottom of the canopy's coming up, that type of thing, but they have coverage. But we're looking at impacting the people that don't have any coverage right now,
We already have the drip line underneath.
okay?
That was put in at the beginning, but no one ever cared for it, so it's not working now. you know.
Exactly. And then what we're doing is we're putting all new hard pipe in there for the irrigation, no more drip lines. We're putting all new hard pipe with heads, so obviously if we put new trees in and we don't have the ability to water it in, the only way we can do it is have you all stand in your backyard and water our trees, and that's not fair.
But we would appreciate anything. Because,
Okay.
It's getting bad.
yeah,
Okay.
it's really getting unsightly. We're ashamed of our homes that we
Okay.
live here in Heritage Pines.
I'll promise you, I'll come over and look at it tomorrow,
Thank you.
okay?
Thank you.
Yes. Right behind you, John.
I would just like to say it's very nice to see the videotaping for somebody like me that comes from upstate New York and the Adirondacks and visit all my friends. But the only thing is, once in a while, there's a little echo in there. You might be aware of that. I'm sure people have made comments about that.
Okay.
And the only other thing I'd like to say is, you said the Christmas parties and the other thing give you extra funds. Give us hurricane chickens a little credit. We come down and spend some money too.
No, the seasonal residents do, but I mean, all our residents do. Now that we've upgraded the facility, you all have really come in and really started, especially the new bar. I mean, that was a gamble, it was expensive, and it's really turned out to be the right move by the board and by management. It's very popular right now, and you all are really supporting it. In fact, we're having to add staff. We're hiring bartenders right now. We can't keep up. Yeah, John?
Bill, I have an issue that while you were having more things on your plate than you can handle, and I appreciate the task that you had, I think Valley Crest has let you down, and I think they've let some of the residents down in about 4 areas that I just noticed on my own.
Okay.
The first area is when you come into the village of Pine Grove and you come around towards Pine Ridge, my village.
Right.
The common area in there is nothing but a bed of weeds and it has never been taken care of, it's never been fertilized.
You talking about the area we just sodded like 6 months ago?
That's my second thing. The
Okay.
area that we just soldered about 6 months ago, we spent about $15,000 doing that. And you spent a heck of a lot of time getting it done, and so
Right.
did I.
Right.
And if you go by that same area today, because Valley Crest didn't put $50 worth of weed killer on it, Bill, that stuff is 20% taken over with
Okay,
two
I'll look at
types
that.
of weed, dollar weed,
Okay.
and it's taken over with this milkweed. And what's gonna happen at this time next year is all $15,000 is gonna be flushed down the toilet because they didn't maintain it. The third area is on Scenic Hills Drive. You've taken all your time on the clubhouse, it's looking great, we're making progress. And if you go up and down the common areas to the front of the clubhouse and down towards the hills, it's nothing but brown weeds.
Well, now, it is, John, that was a weed that he just sprayed 2 weeks ago. He sprayed a weed killer on it, so that's what's browned it out. Once it dies out, the grass will, we feel, the grass will grow into it and cover it. But that was a weed that we blew, in both sides of it, you see that dark brownish color? That's the weed dying, from him spraying it with a fungicide.
Okay, but if you could, if it's calmed down a little bit, and you could take some time, I understand priorities.
No, these are
But
priorities.
if you could go back with Valley Crest and get them back into the common areas.
Sure.
What's an issue now won't be a problem next year.
Right.
But if they don't address it, it's gonna be something that's gonna both be costly and it's gonna be an appearance issue.
I agree.
Where's Pine Grove?
Pine Grove is a village,
It's on Bent Pine.
Bad Pine.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, in the, okay.
Yes,
Behind speaker.
thank you.
I live on Pine Grove on Bent Pine. One of the remarks that I want to make, the bar is beautiful. It's really great. We've really enjoyed it.
Right.
But I heard you say you're adding more bartenders.
Yes.
When you get a group of people in here, 125 people eating, and then people at the bar, people are 3 and 4 deep
Right.
waiting. And, you know, we've got terrific bartenders. Joe and Lisa are just great, and I know there's a new guy. But on some nights, you need 2, maybe 3 bartenders in there. I mean, there's that many people, and people get a little bit disgusted having to wait
Right.
in line for their drinks. So we don't want to lose people drinking there. We want to make sure we got enough coverage, and we've got the help there to take care of them.
Yeah, we're hiring new bartenders. The one